Yeah. Let's
All
start the
right.
show.
Fuck it. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another segment of. Damn, I forgot what the fuck we were doing.
Tales from
Boy,
the blind
Tales
side,
from
my
the
friend.
blind side.
Come on, man.
My
Look who
bad,
you're with.
dude.
Look who you're with. Come
I
on.
know.
Oh boy.
My
Hey,
mind, for whatever reason, my mind just was gone. All right, here we
Hey.
go. Here we go. All right.
773
if
Studios
you
got a
don't
lot
know, we
going
don't
on.
either.
He
Shit.
switched studios, threw them all
All right,
off.
here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another segment of Tales from the Blindside. I got my brothers Jamaal Jackson and Todd Herremans with me again. Man, we're just gonna get into this Steelers game, man. I mean, what the fuck? You get Carson, he comes out here, he has a solid game, and here we go again. It's Jordan Mailata's next start. They're on the road. You have a couple fans in the stadium, just all of that playing into it. And here we go again, another loss. So talk to me, man. How did you guys see this thing?
I'll start off with this one because, to be honest, I wasn't expecting much out of this weekend. You know what I mean? And we got an exciting football game with hope of victory at times and excitement at times. And, from what I could tell, pretty decent production from the offense. And I think that's a bright spot, seeing how depleted they were, who's been hurt, how much time they've had together, stuff like that. I think that played into it. I think that the sour taste from this is kind of, I think what boils down to it is an immature defense playing a veteran quarterback who just kind of like took care of them, and got the mismatch, confused them, got the matchups he wanted and took advantage of it,
Yeah, he got more than the matchups. I mean, Buddy was out there telling the receiver what to do, like at the line of scrimmage. Like, how do you pick up on that?
Bro, he was
you got a linebacker. You got a linebacker covering a receiver that has 3 touchdowns. And what defense is that allowed?
Hey, run faster than that guy, real quick.
I mean, I know he's a rookie and all, but yeah, defense was kind of a letdown this week. Offensively, it's something they can hang their hats on, even with the line being depleted as it was. And y'all know what we were saying, man. If Lane not on the sideline, man, it's an L. So
I texted you guys. I said it's over.
He got carted off, so that's not a good thing. But I mean, I thought Jordan Mailata played good. He gave him some pressures at the end, but for the most part, he had a solid game. And I thought with the blitz packages that Pittsburgh likes to implement, they kind of in the first 3 quarters they held their own. Carson wasn't under crazy duress. I mean, there were some plays in there where he tried to evade a rush or duck up under a sack or whatnot, and it wasn't like the guys got beat clean. It was more or less good coverage on the back end. So, from a Lions perspective, I thought they held up given the fact that they were like young and pretty much inexperienced.
Yeah, because when you go and you look at the box score, you see that they gave up 5 sacks, 11 quarterback hits. I know all of them weren't on the offensive line, but one of the things I noticed is that there were a couple of times where they only sent 3 defensive linemen and they dropped everybody else back in coverage. So now, you had 1 or 2 sacks that came off of just 3 defensive linemen being rushed. That's a problem because, there was one where the guy got pushed on Kelsey, and then that was Hayward that got pushed on Kelsey and ended up getting a sack. And then I believe there was one other time where he split between Matt Pryor and Jack Driscoll, and they weren't together on that particular rush.
Yep.
So I felt like just going into this game that, like you, Todd, I really didn't expect a lot from this game. I knew that that this was going to be a game that we would possibly lose just because of what the Steelers bring to the table with their defense, but I think our offense did battle. But, man, I mean, when you get to a situation where you want to see the team pull out this win, I really don't know. So let's see this. When you go back and you watch this game, do you feel like Jordan Mailata, do you feel like the Eagles have found the left tackle in Jordan Mailata?
Yeah, I think so. I think for the time being, he's a great. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to develop into the cornerstone of the franchise, but I think as an interim left tackle, I think he gets the job done right now.
Yeah,
I actually do. Like, because early on, you kind of expected like the games, the twists, the stunts, the guys off the edge. He handled that pretty well. Like, they didn't call his name at all until like the fourth quarter when he gave up that precious sack. So,
right.
For the most part, going up against a 3-4 defense, he showed himself like pretty well, being as though, hell, the guy's just learning the game of football and he's only been over here for 3 years. So I thought he showed himself well. Now, the rest of the line, I mean, Kelsey kind of showed his age, but then again, he went up against Cam Haywood. Like, dude's an all-pro. Kelsey's an all-pro, so that's kind of like a wash. But on that one, he did kind of get, kind of drove in the quarterback's lap a little bit to give up the pressure. But, that's to be expected. Kelsey's, 170, 180? And right. Cam is like 310.
Yeah, 280,
So, I mean, you got to expect some pressure up the middle every now and again, especially against a 3-4 when you got a head-up nose.
Yeah, I just feel like –
and I felt like –
What are we doing?
Go ahead. No, it's on you. It's on you, Todd. Go ahead.
I just feel like you guys remember what it was like when you have one guy out and then the backups out there, and the flow is just not the same. Kelsey's out there with 4 backups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be weird feeling out there at times. The communication has to be off, I would imagine. You can't have all the calls coming properly down the line and echoed and seeing all the movement properly and being able to stay on the same level and all that kind of stuff that you get through just the reps with everybody. And so, dude, the fact that Lane's out and questionable and, in and out and stuff like that kind of hurts it too, because you just need to get a 5 you can ride with out there.
Yeah, I'm with you wholeheartedly, because, as a center, you got to give all the calls. And I could just imagine Kelsey going, okay, Mike 55, L to the right, slip backside, and fan out. Like, it's a lot of shit you got, like, when you got young guys. And when Lane went out, oh, man, I already know, hey, man, y'all got the swap on this backside. We're going to double lay this front side. We're going to go up into this Mike linebacker, and let's just go for it, because it's too much experience on the line.
Jack, you used to be able to help us out when we were in trouble out there. Like, you used to be able to help us out, slide to somebody if they were banged up, or if we had somebody young out there, extra protection that way and stuff like that. But what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? It's like pick which guard you want to help, basically. I mean,
right?
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and especially when like you said, you have a line that has so much just inexperience amongst the group, and then you have Jack Driscoll coming in as an extra blocker on times. I mean, a lot of times I saw that they put Rodgers, one of the newer tight ends, on Watt a couple of times just in protection. So, it was just, they kind of tried to change it up. I thought that Wentz played a solid game. You go back and you look at you see that he threw 2 interceptions, but I felt like overall he played a really good game. I think that you found a receiver in Fulgham. I mean, to go out there. Now, there were times that he looked for. Yeah, Fulgham went out there and had a big game. I mean, let's see, 10 receptions for 152 yards. Man, that's a beautiful day at the office right there. 13 targets. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you want to see out of a receiver out there, bringing something to the table. Even Hightower getting involved in it, Greg Ward. Now, I did feel like once we were going into halftime, when you had Hightower, he didn't get out of bounds on that particular play. So he caught a pass, and he didn't go out of bounds. So now the clock is ticking, and then now you get a pass to damn JJ, I think, on my side.
Oh, man. I knew it was coming.
We have to talk about JJ, I think, on Whiteside.
I swear, dude, he's like the only draft pick that gets useless stats. Like, how can you use that? The time is winding down. You know, I do think, I guess his route should have been geared towards more to the sidelines, being as though it was already an incredible catch, and you know the crowd and the fans has been on him for like a year and a half now.
You know he was hyped.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
And to find out, like, it was like all for naught. That's so bad and embarrassing, man. Like, I just feel
he was probably so hyped that he forgot the entire game situation. You know what I mean?
He did.
He was like forgot the complete moment he was in, and he was just like, "Yeah, fuck y'all."
You see that shit? You see that bitches?
I caught that fucking ball.
Yeah, and he caught the ball and he wanted to celebrate and like, first down, bitches, you see this shit? And then next thing you know, you're like, wait a minute, hold on, I still have the ball. Hey, Kelsey, here, take this motherfucking dog. I need this shit.
Hey, he was like, fuck you, pay me. I caught that shit.
Hey, I caught it. I caught this thing. Hey, hold on. Here, Kelsey, here's the ball again. I need you to snap it again because I did catch it. Here we go.
Well, I know he went to the sideline.
Quick. Run it back.
It wasn't up. Y'all ran out of timeouts.
And the ref was standing right there like, y'all get the ball to the referee. First of all, Hightower should have gotten out of bounds. That's a rookie mistake. He should have gotten out of bounds on his play. So he gets tackled in bounds. Clock's ticking. Then now you get, which I think they had to call a timeout somewhere in there. And then you have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside gets the catch. Is super excited that he caught the ball. Oh, my God. He's screaming on the inside. And he gave the ball to Kelsey.
He's screaming.
But to his credit, you did see the block he had on Miles' first touchdown, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it was a nice block, bro. He wasn't getting in the zone unless he got that block. So let's give him one positive here.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was good. I mean, there you go. Good job. You had a great block. And you had a catch. Good job, JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
They need to stop wasting his reps on offense and just put his ass as a gunner or one of those personal protectors on special teams, because that was some hell of a blocking that they did on that touchdown run. Like, I think it was him and Watkins was down there, the other one of the other rookie receivers or whatnot. Mm-hmm. They did some great blocking on that long touchdown run, and it just seems as though the running game was going to be a factor after that play, and it was, I think Miles gained like 8 yards on like 6 carries after that.
Yeah, dude.
So,
if you take away Miles' 70-yard run, they only had 24 yards rushing. No, because Miles rushed for 70. His touchdown was 74 yards. They finished with 94 yards for the day. You know what I'm saying? So if you take away that 74 yards touchdown, you only have 20 yards rushing. Now, going up against the Steelers, I mean, they were number one against the run, only giving up 59 yards per game. I mean, but 20 yards for the day?
It wasn't 20 yards though, Trey.
I know. It was 94, right? It was 94.
Hey, you guys remember we used to grind away play after play, hoping for a 70-yard one to break, so we get over 100 clean for the day and just hang it up and be like, hey, we did our job.
Hey, we got 100 yards rushing, dude. There it is right there. But Big Red, we're going to add that. Hey, we're going to air that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, 94 yards rushing total. I mean, I think that against the run, I felt like and I can't wait to go back and watch the coach's copy. I just felt like the combination box weren't clean. There were too many times where they ran right into the safety. You had a blitzer linebacker coming free, or the combination. They just weren't getting to the second level the way they need to. Because a lot of people don't understand. Most run plays are designed to get the running back to the safety.
Right, but you got a good defensive line across from you that's not letting those guys climb. I mean, that's one of the signs of having a good defensive front. And we knew going into this, Pittsburgh was definitely not a slouch up front. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they were ranked pretty high against the run, and that's because they eat up all those offensive linemen with their 3-down linemen, and they allow the backers to shoot and make plays and allow the safety to come up in the hole and fill and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's just – dude, you know what that is? That's just drilling that shit, fucking hacking that arm off of you when they're trying to grab you, spinning out of it, getting to the second level. Like, you got to get creative. And bro, how are you going to get creative with 4 guys that are out there that ain't ever played the game at this level. You know what I mean? Like that's tough.
Yeah, and you know, I think also when you look at how Coach Stout teaches the flipper, you know what I'm saying? So he likes to come in and he wants to throw that flipper with your off arm. So does that hinder you a little bit when you're trying to get up to that second level? If you have, because Juan would always teach that stab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we would stab with the inside hand, and that would kind of create that space, would open the shoulder up. So now the tackle can get in there and get the cut or get in there on the combination. But if you're working flipper, that makes it a lot easier for the defenders to grab you and keep you from going to the second level.
Yeah, I also think there's a place for the flipper. There is you create some movement. You can peel a guy open real quick with the flipper. But as far as trying to step into a 4-eye or a 4 or something like that with a flipper, that's just not going to get it done. You got to keep your distance at that point that he's already given you. Like you're saying, you got to have both of your tools in your bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like I was saying, bro, they're all young as shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to fill tools in their bag right now. It's not like they have multiple yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you got to approach each game. I think you have to approach each game with a different type of game plan. If you know that this is what this defense is going to be giving you, then maybe you should change it up. And that's something that can be drilled throughout the week if you know that that's what you're going to be getting.
Right.
So here's the real question that I want to ask you guys, because we've had a couple of days now. Have we listened to All Odds, Against All Odds?
Oh, man, my bad. I didn't. I'm sorry. I heard about it, and, last week when we talked about it,
You went and read the reviews, didn't you, Jack? You read the reviews, didn't you?
I thought y'all was bullshitting. Like, I didn't peep it. I thought, is it just a track, or is it a whole album?
Oh, it's a whole album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's not just a track. It's a whole...
Well, I dropped the car off to the shop today, so I ain't really going nowhere. So I'm gonna check it out today.
Yeah, give it a ear. Give it a ear, man. Check it out. See what you see.
I'm quite sure they bumping that bitch now that the Lakers won last night. So
maybe.
Get some heavy. Maybe. Oh man, no. They jamming against all odds, man.
Okay, all right. Hopefully,
they got to. Did you hear Todd?
I've heard some songs. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I haven't listened to it front to back yet.
Okay. And your thoughts? Okay. All right.
All right. So we're gonna at some point we're gonna have to get everybody to kind of listen to it so that we can get
I got
critique.
Next week, I guarantee you, next show I'll have it. I'll probably even know some of the choruses or whatnot.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so let's move it on through the game, man. I felt like Carson made some better throws in this game. He wasn't gun shy. He took a little bit more. He delivered the ball a lot better in this game. What did y'all see from that?
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, I think for the most part, he's like I said, he's one of those guys that he needs to be the focal point. Like, he needs to be the alpha male on the field in order for, I guess, him to play at an elite level. It's like, I got all these young guys. I need to bring them along with me instead of them helping me, and that's what I think he plays best when, the odds are against them. And like yesterday, watching that game, even from the first half when I want to say it was like 14-14, in my mind, I was like, man, they might pull this one off because offensively, these guys came to play. It didn't look great. He still had a couple errant throws, but for the most part, he found him a reliable target in the dude, Travis Fulgham, who said, fuck us last week. I'm here to stay. You know what I'm saying? You get 10 catches for 152, and you're leading the team in catches and yards, and you only been on the team for a week and a half?
Yeah.
Like, hey, man. Like, hey,
that's some job security, bro.
Right.
That's some job security right there.
Like, some of those guys that are, that's on the slab, they might not have no reps when they come back. Like, I know Alshon and D-Jack, they're veterans, but if Carson is getting it done with the younger guys with younger legs and not that many miles on his body, why not keep that progression going with these guys? I see no reason why they should take him or the kid Ward out. Even though Ward, he's gonna get open. He don't have elite speed, but they're reliable, and that's what Carson needs. Somebody that's reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like watching the relationship develop, the trust develop between Carson and the younger players. It's almost like the younger players go into it with no expectations, as to where like the vets kind of have a little more expectations. And I don't know if that weighs heavier on Carson. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like he's playing better. He's getting a better relationship, better timing with his younger receivers and stuff. But dude, one of the biggest concerns for me right now is like, he's at a career high for picks at this point in the season already.
Yeah.
I mean, the turnovers got to stop. You're not going to win games when you're turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's a renegade out there.
Yeah.
I know. I appreciate his style. He's trying to make things happen, but you got to take care of the ball, though. Or what are history shows all the stat lines with turnovers and takeaways. It just leads to victory.
Yeah. Especially on on his first interception, I felt like, Ertz got knocked off his route, and to me, I think Carson made the right. Maybe he could have gone to Miles Sanders on that one, because you had Miles coming out of the backfield to the left right there. But instead, he decided to go ahead and try to hit Ertz. Ertz got knocked off his route. I think that Carson, the throw that he was trying to make would have hit Ertz in the right spot. But, with Ertz getting knocked off his route, then there you go. That's an interception. And then you go back and you look at Ertz was targeted 6 times. He only had 1 catch in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you got to look into, man. All the talks are earlier in the season about his contract. And, I guess his successor is on IR. So it's like, damn, I want a new deal. The guy that's supposed to be the up-and-coming guy behind me, he's hurt, and I'm still out here, busting it for this team. But ever since then, the whole Dallas Goedert is the tight end of the future, Ertz has been, like, non-existent. Like, I think the most catches he had in a game was, 5, 4, if that? Mm-hmm. Whereas last year, in the years prior to, it was 8, 9 catches a game. He was the go-to target when they had, lesser talent at receiver. So I think
but everybody was jocking him. He's one of those guys. I feel like he feeds into he needs to be the guy.
He needs to be the man.
He needs to have everybody talking about how he's the greatest weapon on this team and stuff like that. And I don't think that goes well for the ego when you got the next coming in the locker room. You know what I mean?
It does not, man. It's just he's not playing like the Zach Ertz of old. Even in the beginning of the season when he was, I guess complaining about his contract extension, we still didn't see that burst. We didn't see that I'm getting 5 catches, 1 drive. I'm, getting a little bit of yards after the catch because, he wasn't known for that, but he was always sure-handed. I believe 2 or 3 passes to him this year has resulted into picks. He used to be unreliable. Now you can't even go to him. You got to, go to guys like Fulgham and, Ward and, even in some instances, J.J. Arcega. So, I just think his head is something wrong up there as far as, him thinking about his contract and where he's going to be years down the road.
But also in his favor, they got to be paying a lot more attention to him if he's like the lone soldier out there that's a known weapon for the Eagles. You know what I mean? Like,
but he was a lone soldier. He was a lone soldier last year, and he led the team in catches.
Yeah.
So,
Good point,
it's
Jack. Good point.
He's like,
got me.
I'm not doing the swing thing no more. I'm not doing that. So, Ertz, man, say what you want, man. That contract is bothering him because the play is totally different. And, for a guy that kind of knows that he's not going to be here next year, you should be, balling out, putting on a display for the other 31 teams. Dude, 1 catch?
Yeah.
That doesn't bode very well for your future.
Yeah. Now, tell me this. Do you think, because I was asked this question yesterday, do you think this is we're seeing the end of Ertz's era with the team this year?
I mean, without them, well, when they broke off contract talks and it became like an insult with the offer that they gave him, oh yeah, the writing. Yeah. If it ain't on the wall, it's spray painted on that bitch now.
Yeah. So everybody needs to start prepping themselves for it. Hey, man. Yeah.
I mean, it's to the point now where, you know, he's Wentz, that is, he's finding comfort and reliability in the new guys, the younger guys. Because every time he's gone to Earth this year, it's either incomplete pass or interception.
Yeah.
You know, go back and look at the film, man. He has 8 picks. 3 of them was to Earth.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough, man. So, but you know what, though? Like you said earlier, I think we got a weapon in Fulgham. I think that he's really going to be someone that we can depend on. He came out of nowhere. You know, one of the things I saw is that he catches the ball with his hands. He's pretty solid out there. I mean, he made some tough catches, were contested. So now we get to a situation now, and we're getting later on in the game where, you know, it's 3rd and 5. We need to get the first down. It is 50-something yards for a field goal. It's 3rd and 5. Everybody in this stadium know that we're trying to go to Fulgham. And what do? We go to Fulgham. And, you know, and of course the Steelers, they go out there, they defend it well. It's incompletion. So now, you know, it's decision time. Do you go for it or do you kick a 57-yard field goal? What would you guys would have done?
Man, in that situation, I thought Doug kind of I thought he wasn't as big ballsy as he normally would be.
Right. You know, he used to have to carry them things around in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Hell, man. You know, now it's a little light. Hey, man, it's kind of empty down there. So, like, he big balls no more. Right. Hey, man, you do enough book signings and book tours. Hey, man, you know. Hey, he shot his wire early.
You're saying it's streaking?
Yeah, man. So, you know, in that situation, I would have, you know, the way the defense was giving up the ghosts, like, I would have went for it.
Yeah.
Like 57 yards, I mean, I'm quite sure you got confidence in your kicker or whatnot. I mean, he had enough leg, but he just didn't have enough accuracy. I mean, he would have, had he lined it up correctly, he would have made it by at least 5 yards because it looked like it had enough legs. But, you know, up there, you know, it's kind of hard with the winds and the water being right there. So it's kind of hard to judge, you know, but in that situation, man, that was one of those things where Doug would have gone for it. But I think with the lack of linemen he had out there, just took the safe route.
I'm going for it.
You going for it? Yeah.
And you already showed us you ain't got that much confidence in your kicker.
Yeah, you made that decision a couple of weeks ago, so yeah.
I mean, I'll just go for it.
Yeah.
That and the fact that the damn defense, dude, it was touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. They scored on like 7 straight drives.
Oh yeah.
I'm going for it too. Like, fuck it.
It was an exciting game. It was very exciting.
Yeah, it was high scoring.
Yeah, it was high scoring, man. Because I you know what, going into this game, I felt like, you know what, we're gonna have the fans. I did a little pregame show, so Inside the Birds. So we do, you know, I'm like, hey, man, we're going to have some fans there. I feel like, you know what, we're going to do it. We're going to pull this game together. But then when I left, I went home and got on my gambling app, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers. So, you know.
You forgot they were Steelers fans.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers on this one because, I mean, you know, I don't know how I really feel. You know, I guess reality really set in. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put my money on this one right here because I don't feel like our defense is going to be able to hold up to this passing attack that the Steelers have. And, I mean, you know, and sure enough, here we go. Now going into this game, you knew that the Steelers were light at offensive line as well. They were missing some of their offensive linemen. But, you know, this was supposed to be a battle between who's going to be number one at getting after the quarterback. You know, which defensive front is going to be the number 1 sack leader coming out of this game. We only generate 1 sack, only 5 quarterback hits, I believe. But, you know, no, only 2 quarterback hits. We only generated 1 sack and 2 quarterback hits the entire game. And we were number one. We came into this game with 17 sacks, 45 quarterback hits. Pittsburgh had 15 sacks, 39 quarterback hits. Man, they just shot past us real quick. Like, all right, yeah, now we off and running.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You have an elusive quarterback like that. You're not going to be able to touch him once you get past back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to kind of look at the first couple opponents. I mean, Washington should have had a field day on the line against them. The Rams, they didn't touch Jared Goff. Then you got the Bengals, and who else was in there? San Fran, and then this past week. So, I want to say the best offensive line they went up against was the Rams, because of all of the misdirection and play pass.
Yeah, but then now the Steelers have proved themselves. I think that Big Ben did a good job of getting rid of the ball extremely quick. And now one of the things that I noticed when you look at the defensive side of the ball, because I just went back and watched the game again, and they played a lot of dime, a lot of nickel, just because the Steelers were coming in there and just spreading everybody out with all these wide outs and everything, and they just put our defense in some bad situations, and they did not shy away from going after Slay. There were several times that they said, all right, you know what, we're going after you, and Slay ended up coming out of there with 2 pass interference.
Yeah, I mean, I think we put too much onus on the term shutdown corner. I mean, it was a good player, but you can't expect him to, blanket the other team's receiver over every week. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need help. I understand they paid him a lot of money in the offseason, but, hey, put a safety back there. I mean, it's not like Pittsburgh ran the ball very well. They were throwing the whole game. To the rookie Claypool and whatnot, and to have a linebacker lined up against this guy in the pivotal point of the game, and it's just a direct reflection of the defensive coordinator and what kind of scheme that he's playing. Like, 1 week he's like, man, he's attacking the 49ers, they're getting after the quarterback, and then next week he's like sitting back in the coverage. Why?
Yeah.
Or not playing enough coverage. Granted, these guys are good. Yeah, the guys on the other side, they get paid too. I just think, in that situation, the defensive coordinator and the scheme kind of let them down this week.
I just think this was like a case of Ben just being smarter than the defense. He looked like somebody's uncle that's playing like the turkey bowl out in the yard, and he understands like scheme and matchups, and he's just out there throwing it to everybody that is just the biggest mismatches, and he's just picking everybody apart. Ben just looked too comfortable for me. I think you needed to do something to make him, a little more uncomfortable, but I don't know what it was.
And when you look at this defense, they get after the younger quarterbacks, the seasoned vets, or some quarterbacks that got some years on them. Jared Goff, Big Ben.
Yeah.
I think his Jim Schwartz's defense is built to confuse like the younger, inexperienced type quarterbacks, because when they faced the ones that knew what they were doing, I mean, they barely sniffed the quarterback. So, that's just something they're going to have to tighten up. Hell, Rodney McLeod even said it. It's not ideal that you want a linebacker or the receiver that's just raping us all day. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
But McLeod should have been there. He knew. I mean,
hey, man.
You go back and you look at this, it's dime. McLeod was to the side. Why not adjust the coverage to help him?
Say what you want. This is why they miss Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
Like you need somebody back there to quarterback them. Well, yeah. Like, okay, if a call comes in from the sideline and you look at the formation, man, they're in 5 wide. Hey, man, we need to switch something up. Somebody needs to get double on the inside. Like, make an adjustment. And that's what they rarely have done this year, seeing, how the defense has been playing.
Man, because, I mean, when you go back and you look at that play, man, Big Ben looked at that and he was like, oh, that's what y'all gonna give me? Hey, you saw him step up and like, hey, give me the tricky shit. Give me the tricky shit. And then, bam, I mean, lit him up. And McLeod was not even close to him to be able to help him out. To me, it just seems like they knew that this defense is always constantly out of position and not ready to make plays. And that's just what I see from this group. It seems like you have a group of guys that They want to look busy. They want to run around and run into guys and move around, but you're not in position to make plays.
Yeah, I just think that is that because they're young and inexperienced, the motions and the shifts and everything are getting everybody all discombobulated and confused. Like, what is that?
You go back and you look at the jet sweep, the touchdown that was down in the end zone. Yeah, and they had that wasn't even the jet sweep. You had the one where they just threw the little hitch right out there to Claypool or whatever his name is, and then Claypool, and just how Barry, he didn't even he tried to the tight end was blocking him, and he spent back inside instead of trying to get outside. Where you want to force him back into the cavalry. No, he tries to spin inside, gives up the sideline. There you go. Touchdown, Nate Gary.
And that's the confusing part to me about this defense. Isn't it like kind of like a wide nine type defense? Wasn't that like his base?
Sometimes you had the guys, they were down. There wasn't always a wide nine, but it's just,
But Jack, you're talking about Schwartz as like a wide nine, get after it kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I seems to have adjusted some. It would appear he's adjusted.
I only say that to say, like, if that's the case, then why are the defensive ends, they're constantly getting, like, reached and giving up leverage on the outside? It happened back in the Rams game. All the play passes, all the defensive linemen, they kept getting sucked inside. And that's still haunting them to this day. The jet sweeps, it seems like every team that's done a jet sweep on this team got positive yards. I haven't seen a jet sweep yet.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just a testament to the undisciplinedness of the D line, or whatever scheme that's being called on that particular play. Like, you gotta notice when they're running motion and the quarterback snaps the ball before he gets to the tackle, it's a jet sweep.
Yeah.
How can you miss that week in and week out? But I don't know.
Jet sweeps, reverses, and screens have killed this defense. They don't handle it well at all, especially the screen game. They don't handle it well at all because everybody was up in arms about, the one particular play where it was, you know what? Since I have you guys here, can we please walk through the mechanics of a damn screenplay? Please, because I think people, they like, well, why can't we run screens well versus other teams? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else sets up the screens like it's no tomorrow. So you guys would get out on the routes and get out there and block the screenplay. So could you please walk us through the mechanics of a screenplay?
All right, Todd. You're out first.
There's a lot of mechanics here. First of all, I was very good at screenplays because one of the first things to running a successful screen is being able to get beat.
Right. Mm-hmm. You gotta get beat. You gotta get beat.
You gotta get beat first.
But you can't make it look like you got beat.
But comes naturally to me. So getting beat. Step one, get beat. Step two, figure out if you're the first one to get beat. Because if your center gets beat before you, he's going to get out before you. If you get beat before your center, you get out before him. Mm-hmm. Step three, get to the goddamn sidewalk. You got to get out to the sidewalk.
Got to get to the sidewalk.
And this is indicative of where the ball is on the field, whether it's in the center, on the hash, on the right hash. It's usually, if it's on the right hash, your sidewalk is the numbers. Move it in, adjust appropriately, And once you get out the sidewalk, you guys just have to – the first guy out there usually has to look outside in. Make sure you're not getting killed from the outside. Second guy has to look for that linebacker coming and seal him. And then if you can get your backside guard out, well, one of them has to watch for garbage, but then turn up, and hopefully you're leading down the sidewalk for a touchdown. But, it's something that's it's not natural. You know what I mean? We used to drill that shit always about getting out of the sidewalk, getting your distance relationship from where the ball was to getting properly in front of where the running back's going to get it and set up. And I just don't know if they've had enough time to do that. I'm sure that they think there's more important parts of the game that they spend time on, but it's something you got to drill, man. And it's something that you kind of got to drill full speed. I mean, You guys remember we used to do it with the cut drill too, and
Definitely
it wasn't fun,
thing.
but shit, we used to have to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely
Plus,
a timing thing.
Another thing. One more thing. I just feel like the timing of screen calls is an art to itself. You can't just call a screen and expect it to work. You know what I mean? It has to be set up. It has to be timely set up. You have to be able to throw in fake screens in there and stuff like that to keep the defense on their heels. So that's my take on the screen. But Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same, but it's like like you said, it is an art to it. Like over the years, you know, when we done the shit so much, it was just like, all right, I can freestyle this bitch a little bit, you know, like I'm gonna sell it like I'm really trying to block this guy, like I'm gonna engage, and I want to lose him like to the side that I want him to go to. So if it's like half black, so screen left, I'm gonna oversetting like hell to the left so he can beat me inside. After those two steps, then I'm throwing him inside like, yeah, okay, you won, I'm out. You know, like that was my rule to it. Just like engage the guy like you're really trying to block him, like for that 2 seconds, like oversetting. So he's like, oh man, he giving up the inside. 2 seconds, bam, throw his ass inside and get on out. You know, but it also has to be, the timing has to be correct for the back as well. They got to set up like they're a personal protector as well. So as soon as you throw the guy inside, they got to be ready for the you know, for the screen pass. And I just think far too often when they do it, it's more or less 1,000 go. Like they're like in a rush to do the screen, and then the quarterback get hit. He still throws the ball, but he takes a shot. In the event for him to not take a shot, you gotta really, that 1,000, you gotta really get out late and let them like kind of like invite them upfield.
Yeah.
But you also got to take a little time to get your receivers to run guys off and get them downfield. You know what I mean? Get their backs turned to the play and stuff like that. So you can't just go. It can't be so fast like that.
Right.
Yeah. You know, you could even give some like a verbal, you're trying to lose, you give a little, oh shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, right. Give him a
little bit of drama that comes into it. You know what I mean? Oh, man, that was a good move.
Yeah. Because now because I want people to understand when we're talking about, okay, if it's at the left edge, let's say if we're running a screen to the right and we're talking left hash, all right? Well, you know what? Let's stick to our side, all right? So let's say we're on the right hash and we want to run a screen to the left, okay? So I know I'm just setting back. I'm just trying to run the end upfield. But Todd, you're going to go 1,001, 1,002. Let's say we're on the right hash and you're the first one out. You're trying to get to the top of the numbers?
I'm trying to get just inside the numbers. If we're on the right hash, I'm trying to get inside the numbers, probably like 2 or 3 yards inside the numbers. We're not trying to get way over to the field.
Yeah.
So if we were on the left hash, I'd be getting to the bottom of the numbers, like bottom of the numbers. And then if we were in the center of the field, more like top of the numbers. You know what I mean? So that's kind of an approximation of where I'm going. But first things first, you got to get out there and see if there's anybody screaming off the edge. So a lot of times it ends up being like a kick out block.
A kick out, right.
Yeah.
Or you end up having to cut that guy. You know, a nice little cross body block we used to practice on the bags.
That was always fun when we would water down the big cut bag. And then, you know what I'm saying, we come out there and just go dive on the bag and go cut the bags and stuff.
But my thing in screens was, I'm like, dude, I hope they're in man. Because if they're in man, you don't have to do much. You just go get them. Right, you just go get them. But when they're in zone, then you got to go through the progression of two yards outside the numbers, 2 yards inside the numbers, the alley. You got to do all that stuff when they're in zone. So, you know, you want to catch them in man to man, so you can just go get the guy.
Right, you just go get the backer that's got the back.
But yeah, that's just one of the things that I see that we don't do it well as a team, just on our side of the ball, and we don't handle it well defensively either. Just because I think that our defensive line is so, I want to go get this sack, and then they're like, oh damn, here comes the screen, and we're off and running. You know, and
discipline, man.
Yeah, that discipline, and I think that our offense, they don't cut when they run the screen. They don't cut so they try to stay up. For whatever reason, when you're telling the running back which way to go when you stay up, instead of just going out there and just taking the knees out, and then you make the defensive player make a decision, knees or tackle, which one you want.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You don't see how Big Red used to say big bodies downfield often.
Big bodies downfield.
You see big bodies running, but they missing some people. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta throw and lay out. Even if you
also
miss them, it creates a convoy. It creates an alley.
Mm-hmm.
You also got to keep your head on a swivel because they will cut you.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
They will cut you, and that will hurt.
Yeah. I think Jordan Mailata learned that last week when he came out there on it. I think it was a 39 toss crack, and he went out there to one of the corners, and the corner went head on and was like, I'm not taking your big ass on.
Oh, yeah, get him the business.
Yeah, and took those knees right on that. Yeah. No, that ain't happening,
I mean,
man.
sometimes that's the play for the defender to make is just go cut it up and make a big pile. You know what I mean?
Yep, and that's what they did. They created a big pile, and then there you go. I think it ended up being a 3-4 yard game, but yeah, Jordan just learned a very valuable lesson on that. The DBs aren't going to take you on.
Yeah, no. They trying to cause that power, like Todd said, man. And I think for the most part, you know, in that situation, when you know you're going after a DB, you just gotta just go throw at him. Like even if he goes low, just dive on him. You know,
make yourself as big as possible.
Right.
Yeah. Expand.
You do the old, expand.
Oh, like the old cut and roll drill. Like throw your body in roll, right?
Yeah, cut and roll.
Well, I don't think you can gator roll anymore. I don't think you're allowed to roll.
Oh, they're called clipping, right?
So they call it something weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think you're allowed to roll.
But it's all you got to do is shoot at those knees, though. Yeah. There you go.
All you got to get them to do is protect themselves quickly. We ain't even get them on the ground.
That's it. All you want them to do is try to protect those knees. And then we off and running, man. But yeah, wow, that's good. So now we have Baltimore coming up, and
Hey, man. I mean, should we just skip to the bye week?
No, because you got New York after that. So yeah.
Like I said, should we just skip to the bye week? Like New York is awful, man. New York is terrible. I know they lost to Dallas yesterday, but they're not going anywhere. And this Baltimore game, man, I don't know, man. It's kind of depressing because you know they're going to run the ball. Yeah. You know that's their thing, which. I think defensively, the Birds have been pretty good at stopping the run, but they haven't been great at stopping a running quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, they're good at stopping the handoff and, yards in the cloud of dust, but when you got a read option, like, because Russell Wilson killed us with it last year, and now you got this guy coming in, my little cousin. That's all he do. He's gonna get 20 carries at least. So, man, they gotta be. They gonna need some discipline in football. And then offensively, hey man, the Ravens have always had a good defense. Always. Yeah. There hasn't been a season that they didn't have a great defense, or at least like a top 10 defense.
They're systematically a good defense.
Right. Like I don't. It doesn't even have to do with like the players that they get. It's like the schemes that they run. It's always solid. Like every year, you're going to get a solid scheme out of the Ravens, no matter what.
And they've always been a 3-4 front. I don't know if that's still their thing now, but here we go. Another.
Yeah. I know, man. You know what though? It should be an exciting game again, right? Hey, do we got some fans going to this game?
Yeah, we're gonna have fans.
I believe
so. How many
are
they allowing in?
I don't know, maybe 5 or 6,000.
5-6 grand, yeah. That's how many was at the Steelers game, like 5,500 or something.
Enough to make a nice light rumble.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a little cheer. You know what I'm saying?
It should be a loud roar.
We shall see.
Hey, as long as the boos are natural and they're not flipping the switch and creating boos, it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Long as the boos are natural, you know what I mean? Don't come in piping in fake boos on us, man.
Bro, they're only booing the offense. The offense gonna be right this week. Like I believe, with the game that they did this past week, they gotta be positive. I thought. Going into the Pittsburgh game, they were going to get smoked out, like, from the jump. And they made it a game for 3.5 quarters. Like, the defense didn't hold up there in the bargain. And you know how it is offensively. It takes time. It takes chemistry. It takes working with the guy next to you. So, that gives Herbeck, Matt Pryor, Mailata, that gives them more more reps with the same guys. So, hopefully they can, muster up the same performances. Just, defensively, they got to slow down number 8.
Okay. All right. Confidence levels are high.
It's high, man. It's high. Yeah.
All right.
Well, because the defense got killed on getting thrown at. Like, Lamar Jackson is not an elite passer. He's only trying to hit the tight end and probably the one dude, Hollywood Brown, like streaking down the sideline, so to speak. But other than that, they're a run-oriented offense, and they like to hit the tight ends. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I say that, but
okay.
I say that. I just say it shouldn't be, but we don't know. So, I'm looking at a win this week. I'm looking at a win, definitely.
Wow. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
Yeah,
So
man.
wait.
Man.
Does that mean we're gonna
win.
reclaim? Does that mean we're gonna reclaim the lead of the East?
I mean, probably so. I mean, with the tie and the one win, it was like number 1, and Dallas wins yesterday. So we'll see. I like that chances this week because you can't. I mean, somehow, some way, like, you have to put together a team victory. Like, can I get some positive yards on special teams? Like, can I get one return for like 30 yards, 40 yards?
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna get some positive yards on special teams against Harbaugh.
Yeah, this is true.
That's gonna be tough, bro.
Yeah.
But those are the unexpected yards. He might, they might surprise us, and D-Jack might play this week. They said he was close. So
against all odds.
Against all odds.
Okay. All right. Cool. Confidence levels are high. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be exciting. Yeah.
I like the way this team is going forward as far as offensively. Defensively, I mean, that's another story. I'm not too confident in the schemes that they're running. I mean, the players that they have out there is really not that bad. Although your guy, man. Your guy.
Who that?
Your guy. You know who your guy is.
Who that?
The dude with the green hair.
The Goblin.
Oh, yeah.
And the Goblin got gobbled up yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave it to him, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, dog. Like, if you gonna play man to man, can I get a jam? Put a hand on.
It is Goblin season.
Hand on the receiver.
Yeah. Hey, dog, it's Goblin season, man. It's Goblin season.
Goblin season.
I mean,
You know what, though? He did make a tackle. He got up and he flexed.
Yeah, bro.
That's
what I do.
He got up and flexed, dog.
Don't bring that around here.
He even got Slay around there flexing now, man. They got Slay flexing now, man.
Yeah, don't bring that weak shit around here.
If after play celebrations meant it was a negative yard, then go for it. I mean, negative play, go for it. I mean, come on, dog. You're wasting the good shit for when you do good things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Like,
The good shit is still in store, Jack. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh,
It's building
really?
up.
Yeah.
I mean, dude flexes like Buddy flexes like he got 22-inch like biceps and he can bench 900 pounds. Like, damn, dude, I love the confidence.
Hey, man. Be happy
the visual
with what you
is
got,
just not,
man.
it's not representative of the play.
Confidence levels are high, though, man. The confidence levels are high.
Jack.
Yeah.
When they take a still shot of it, you
very
never
high.
know what the play was, bro.
Yeah.
Killing it on the IG, I'm sure.
But you don't know if it was a first down, touchdown, or what. You don't know.
All sorts of great picks, bro.
Oh, yeah, great picks. Great picks.
Oh, yeah. This is what I hit him for that 5-yard TFL.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
It's called the power of the caption. The power of the caption.
Yeah, his gallery is out.
The power of the caption.
Yeah. It's nice to see with all the little armbands and all that now. So it's
the Instagram photos gotta be fire.
Yeah.
I mean, he got some steals, boy. I'm telling you, like the things, they looking good, boy. Cause like when you can flex and get different angles,
bro,
and get beat and still flex, like come on, dog. Like
oh man,
Instagram gallery on fire.
You're gonna have some killer fat heads.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Okay. Wow.
Fat heads on fire.
But that's my guy, man. The Goblin, man. He brings the energy. We need a Goblin on offense.
Goblins,
like we need somebody that brings the energy on offense.
Yeah, I think it's Fulgham.
Defensively, it ain't working out for Buddy.
Fulgham's the guy.
I think Fulgham's gonna be the guy, man.
He said,
progressing.
This is what I do. Just keep throwing me the ball.
Just throw me the damn ball. That's all I do is make plays.
Hey, and, it's funny how, he has like this shit. I didn't want to put this. The quarterback has like this symbiotic relationship with this receiver that's been here a week and a half. Like when you see him throw the ball to Travis Fulgham, it's right in the bread basket. It's right between the 1 and the 3. It's right at his hands. Mm-hmm. He goes to hit somebody else, and it's like they got to make an acrobatic catch or an impossible catch, or they got to jump fucking a 44-inch vertical to get the ball. I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all.
Dog. I told you. It's about expectations.
Yeah.
Fulgham ain't got no expectations. He just wants the rock, bro. He just wants the rock.
He expands.
Now, there might be some other people that are expecting to not go across the middle, to not get hung up across the middle.
I feel you on that.
Man, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That all plays into it, man.
You all right about that. I forgot the first 3 weeks he was hanging cats out, boy. Like,
looking
fuck that
man.
noise. I ain't reaching out for that.
Yeah, no, they got it.
Like, man, we still in the.
We're going
short
arms.
Short arms quick.
The pre-COVID protocol.
Get them short arms quick.
Yeah, short arms.
I don't know if we're going to finish the season, so I'm going to just short on this.
Yeah.
COVID's still out there. I don't want to get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he was hanging cats out, boy.
Yeah, man. But shoot, man. It's all good, man. We're going to get ready for this Baltimore Ravens game. But, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me again today, man, fellas. It's always good to catch up with y'all and talk a little football. Welcome to another segment of Tales from the Blindside. We'll see y'all on the other side.
All right.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Hey.